Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we are, reacting a little bit more to the sold out event that took place yesterday in Huntsville, Alabama. Carlos King's first podcast show with Melody Cherie. It wasn't a combined event of the Melometers and the Raindrops. I know he wants to try to make fetch happen with that, but it was really the Melometers that showed up and showed out and all of the things. And I just really wanted to do this video because I need to know where we go from here. I need to know where we go from here as a collective, with boots on the ground, with the Melometers activating, with everything, because Melody Cherie has put it all out there, has aired out all of the grievances that she has had against Carlos King that we had suspected, because keep in mind, like I said, she's been bullied and isolated on this show for several seasons now. Martel keeps getting more and more out of control as the seasons go on, whether it is violent episodes to where Carlos King is like crying for him, now this revenge piece stuff. And here's the thing, Carlos, you saying that you had no clue any of this stuff was happening is complete cap. Is absolute cap. First of all, literally on the post that you just made about this event from yesterday, you openly say how much you love a content creator who openly hates Melody Cherie, you guys, on their platform. Openly hates her. And talks about how much they can't stand her and that she's evil and that she's the devil and all these things. You're openly saying in the comments for an event about Mel, oh yeah, I love you so much too. Really? That's one. Also, with the Scotts, anytime they have any issues or drama, because apparently they call you all the time, you give them advice, you answer their calls immediately, and then they go to social media and be like, oh yeah, Carlos King said, blah, 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 and da, 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 da. Like you guys do that all the time. And now you are a content creator too, Carlos, so you are fully aware of what is being said about Love and Marriage Huntsville, about your cast members, and all of the things. So this notion of, number one, trying to pass the buck to Oprah, of all people, who's already in her own scandal with the Color Purple stuff, only owns like 5% of the OWN network now. I believe Discovery owns pretty much all of it. So how is Oprah responsible for the show? Make it make sense. You are fully aware, even if you are not the lead producer anymore or a part of the overhead, the day-to-day, you can't tell me there's no production assistants or anybody else on the team who hasn't contacted you about any type of drama that is taking place on the show. That, hey, we just filmed a scene with Mel and Martel and it got completely out of hand and security was there and the therapist was there and this and that. It shouldn't have had to take all this time until Melody Cherie called you. And here's the thing. The only reason Carlos is a little, quote, disappointed now in Martel is because Martel called him out. Martel called him out. Exposed him, exposed the show, questioned his integrity, questioned his qualifications, and then followed that up with an arrest. And Carlos can't defend that, right? But here's the thing. Even Mel said last night that Martel needs to be gone. That Martel does not need to be on the show. So what's going to happen, you guys? And this is what I was kind of thinking about and reflecting. A couple of things are either going to happen. Because they've already said that Martel is filming, right? Either he is no longer allowed to film with Melody, period, or he is going to be phased out of the show to where this will be the last season that we see of him. But unless they just plan on just getting rid of him altogether, I don't know what else is going to happen. But I don't understand why Carlos King wants to play with this show, wants to play with his reputation, wants to play with his career, when allegedly your last season of Real Housewives of Atlanta was due to the other type of, essay allegations that involved Phaedra, Candy, and Portia. So why would you want to latch yourself to another scandal like this? On this level, on another type of revenge P type of scandal, and again backing the person who was responsible for the revenge P happening in the first place? Why would you want to align with that? I don't care what tea Martell has on you. Nothing is worse than, like Melody Cherie said yesterday, than, quote, funding the chaos and enjoying the chaos. And we know Carlos King loves mess, loves drama, loves chaos. You get on your platform every single week and drag all these reality shows except for Love and Marriage Huntsville. So you're fully aware of what goes down and what the behind the scenes stuff is happening. And you have no problem calling out the cast members who are not bringing anything to the show. You are doing these videos about how Candace is being iced out of Real Housewives of Potomac, but you can't see the, comparison of Melody Cherie going through the same thing, where her own cast is trying to ice her out. And Mel has told you repeatedly, yesterday wasn't the first time that she told you that she was uncomfortable filming with her ex-husband and all of the drama that's taking place. She didn't feel safe. She didn't feel protected. And it's crazy that she is the only reality star ever that has to film like this with her ex-husband. And there has to be security and therapists on the scene in case something goes rogue. That's not normal, Carlos. That is not normal at all. And then just telling Martell where to pop up. I was surprised he honestly didn't pop up yesterday. But telling Martell where to pop up for these scenes whenever Mel does have events for the show that she's filming. And he just comes out of nowhere, whether it was like the release of the music video, whether it was the kid's birthday party, whatever it is, Martell is always in the mix somewhere trying to cause a scene. And what is going to give at this point? Right? And where's the Tasha K interview, you guys? The way Tasha K was talking, she made it seem like this was going to break the internet, that we were going to be talking about it for days and days and days, and that it was going to come out, around the time that Melody Cherie's event yesterday took place. Where is it? Because it's crickets right now. It is absolute crickets. So either Martell bombed, like we all know he did, or the interview itself is just too damaging for Martell to where whenever this gets released, it's just going to be an onslaught of just him getting dragged to where he doesn't want the negative PR. But see, Martell is too narcissistic that I still believe this interview is coming out. Now, the when is going to be interesting, right? The when is going to be interesting. I still think ultimately it's probably going to come out sometime this week. But I'm just curious how much of it is going to be edited now based off of what Melody Cherie revealed yesterday. But then there's a part of me that just thinks Tasha K doesn't care and Martell doesn't care. And anything that he is going to say that's going to make Melody Cherie look bad and elevate his side chick, he's going to do that. Really, at this point, there's nothing else really he has to say. Other than, and some of the rumors are that he allegedly is going to, dive in more into the alleged mistresses of Maurice and Marceau. And it's like, okay, like, do we really care? I mean, Kiki's already tried exposing that and everything else. Like, everybody's tried exposing these alleged mistresses. Like, seriously, Martell, if you have nothing going on with yourself, and this is the whole point, why Martell still on the show when he has nothing going on for himself? His whole existence now is what everybody else is doing and trying to tear everybody else down to make himself feel better because he didn't think big picture about cheating on his ex-wife, that she actually was going to leave him and actually was going to leave him for good. He was thinking that old school mentality where the wives who, were homemakers and all these things and didn't have the resources or didn't have, the education and the means at the time to leave their cheating husbands and just dealt with it or whatever and stayed married to them and forgave them, that was not going to happen to him. That was going to be, the same thing, that he got counsel from older couples who've been through the same thing and thought that Melody Cherie would never go anywhere. And that he would just be allowed to continue to, try to finance a lifestyle with his mistress on Melody Cherie's dime. Now that all of that is over, now that you and your mistress are broke, now that you and your mistress cannot fund any type of projects, all you have is both of you finding ways to tear down Melody Cherie, whether it is the open slander and defamation that takes place, whether it is the abusive nature and toxic work environment that's taking place on the show, these stupid interviews that are just full of lies, and of course this revenge piece. Like, just taking it to the next level, trying to get full custody and trying to get access to Melody Cherie's accounts and her money. Like just all of these shenanigans. And he won't stop. And how dumb are you, mistress, that you are still with a man after all these years who is still obsessed with his ex-wife? And the only reason he is still obsessed with his ex-wife is because he can no longer have her anymore. He can no longer be with her anymore. She doesn't want him back. She dropped, his last name and everything else. She wants nothing to do with him, and it is a bruise to his ego. Because he thought that he could always have his cake and eat it too, like his friends that he cheats with. But Melody Cherie is a different type of wife. She's not just going to stick around just to stick around and deal with no BS and be humiliated time and time again. She stood up for herself. She dissolved all of the businesses that you guys own together, and she made her own plan of success to completely get away from you. And you cannot handle it. But my thing is, you guys, where do we go from here? Are we going to black out again for season 7 in the event that, Martell is back full time? Because I feel like the only time, Carlos King really has realized the impact of Melody Cherie was once we were serious about the blackout and getting Letitia's mom off this show. And the significant dip in viewers that took place at the height of the bullying and the isolation and everything else that was taking place against Melody Cherie was when Carlos King finally stepped in. And they had that big come to Jesus meeting, which now means nothing because Martell is still doing foolishness behind the scenes. But nonetheless, where do we go from here? Do we have to orchestrate another blackout? Do we have to do letters again to the network? Do we have, where does this go? So that Carlos can understand that the nonsense that he was saying yesterday, the lack of accountability, the lack of responsibility, trying to pass the buck yesterday and pretend that he was completely clueless when he is a self-professed reality king. So if you're a reality TV king, you know everything that's taking place. You always know. So don't try to insult the intelligence of the Melometers. They are very educated, very successful people. And they are critical thinkers, most importantly. And they formed and they activated in huge numbers because of the mistreatment of Melody Cherie. So you think that you're just going to be able to get away with Martell being on season 7 after this revenge pee, after him already being arrested, after him still going on platforms slandering Melody Cherie's name on different content creator sites, that's going to be allowed, that fans are still going to tune in to Love and Marriage Huntsville? Mel has already said, what she said yesterday, that, she really thought Carlos had it out for her. And she's right. I don't care what Carlos says. He is not a fan of Melody Cherie because no fan of Melody Cherie would have put the things that Melody Cherie has gone through. If you truly were about that life, you would have shut all this down a long time ago. But you and the cast want to see how much is too much for Melody Cherie to see if you can convince her to walk away from your own show so that you guys can push whatever false narrative without her and continue to slander her without her being there. And it's not going to work. But the problem now is you're going to be risking your own career riding these coattails of Martell. And writing for Martell in the end. And we don't want to see Martell. We want nothing to do with Martell. We don't want to see abuse like this on our screens. Like Melody said yesterday, we wanted the show to be about business and Black entrepreneurship. Why are those scenes being cut? And no, I don't mean the fake scenes that other people are filming in empty offices that have no business. But I mean real business, real results that Melody Cherie has going on with her 20 or so odd businesses that are not being featured on the show. And finally, why was Stormy there yesterday? That was very interesting. Why was Stormy there? Was she invited to go? Was she genuinely trying to go there to be supportive for Melody Cherie? Or does she realize that just latching on to Kiki and only being a friend to Kiki is not going to be good enough to move the needle? Is not going to be good enough for her to film enough scenes on the show. So now she has to play nice with Melody Cherie because she got played too by Letitia. So now it's like you either go back to Letitia and try to work things out with her, or now you're befriending Mel. You have to be with somebody of the core 6 or you're not going to get any screen time. So I am curious to see what your guys' thoughts are. Where do we go from here? Like I said, there's been plenty of lies, there's been plenty of deflection, there's been plenty of passing the buck, and we need to get to the bottom of what the plan of action is from here if, in fact, Martel is truly back, that we still do not have a concrete answer to. So there is that. Please let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.